Awesome. So glad you guys could be here with us tonight. What I wanted to do is kind of give some overviews and some updates and some announcements for you guys that are plugging in. A couple of tips, and then we're going to jump into what we wanted to cover tonight. So here's the first tip that I have for everybody. Make sure that you and your team and everybody in your organization as they join, make sure that those people are plugging into the A Leisure Life Nation Facebook group. So that's where you're going to get alerts and text messages, motivational thoughts and things. But that's kind of the central hub for where you're going to build your business. I know that there's a lot of team members that have their own individual groups. We got groups in Minnesota, we got groups in Missouri, we got groups in Utah, we got groups in Texas, we got groups in South Carolina. We got groups everywhere, and you've got your own team group, and that's absolutely fine. But what you're going to see is the main hub is that of Leisure Life Nation. So when you get any alerts or notifications from that, feel free to post that stuff in your team group pages. But plug everybody into that main one. They've got to be added to that. So they have to go in, search for it, ask to be requested. Not everybody can add, so they've got to be approved. We got to make sure that the people that are in that group are only people that have signed up to become affiliates. There's people that are maybe have quit, and that's fine. People that are not plugged in, not active, this is a great way to get them plugged in to let them know what's going on. So with that, you guys, what I wanted to do is kind of give you an overview of what you missed out on in Dallas if you weren't there, and this is going to be a good review and an update if you were there. So what we're going to cover is some of the same slide deck that we did. This is the release of the ALL7 system. So what you've seen is the system is it's the way that you build your business from start to finish. There's a consistency of message, the training steps, what those 7 skills are, the event cycle of duplication. And you're going to have different events. There's a reason why these personal one-on-one meetings and house meetings are the lifeblood of growth in any area, any region. So set those up. Get with your leaders, get with your upline, get with me. Let's do conference calls and make sure that you have a functioning group, that you have a functioning area through those weekly meetings, whether they happen on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly or a tri-weekly or whatever that scenario. Speaking of that, on a regional Super Saturday, I'm going to be in Missouri. So get with myself, or Travis Haney is hosting that event. Missouri, March 4th. I'm going to be there the 4th, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. So look for those announcements, those flyers. We'll be sending out the directions and do that. But that's a build towards that event. Don't wait for that event to get excited. Build towards that event. Contact people. If you don't know people in those areas, that's fine. I'm going to be coming to Texas. I'm going to be coming to Minnesota. I'm going to be coming to Utah. That's where I live, so hopefully. So all of those different areas. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. And then leadership workshops, that you haven't seen what that looks like. So I'm going to be training those types of things for people. Then the vital sign behaviors, that's where you really separate between just being an affiliate to actually becoming a leader. That's where the multiplication factor of the business really occurs, is what are the 7 vital signs that you need to be paying attention to. See, there's lots of people that can join your organization. You can have lots of affiliates. But the people that plug into the system and do the vital signs, those are the people that are really the ones that matter. Okay? So the next thing I talked about in Dallas about why a system is so vital and so important. Lots of companies have a build strategy or a marketing funnel, and this is how we present the business or the opportunity, and that's great. But a system helps you to be more efficient. Okay, and those are some words of what is efficient, what you're doing. It's systematic, it's logical, it's orderly. It's time saving. It's money saving. It allows you to be less, trial and error and figure things out on your own. I talked a little bit about the cash flow quadrant. If you weren't there, I highly encourage you to go and watch the 9-minute video by Robert Kiyosaki on YouTube. Just type it in, cash flow quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki. Watch the videos. There's a handful of short little videos. It explains this. A lot of people can actually join their own business in network marketing. You can actually become an affiliate with a Leisure Life and still operate that like an employee or a self-employed individual, which means that it's only dependent upon you being there. Think about that. That's not the way to function your business. So you want to be able to plug into the system so you can get results done with you not actually being there. And that's where the duplication of the business comes in, and it's vital. You need a system for it. Then there's 4 stages of what a system actually does. This is a training that normally takes me about 20, 30 minutes to go through. But as you plug into a system, you're going to learn the different activities that you need to do. Then you're going to do the activities, and that's where you actually get good at the business. By copycatting and modeling is where you truly understand what you're doing and why it's part of the system. And then you become an amazing teacher. You're mastering the whole concept. Okay, if it feels like I'm blowing through all of these slides, I'm doing that on purpose, because what I'm trying to do is take the entire 10-hour event that we had on Saturday and cram it down into about 45-minute webinars. So it's an impossible task that I've been assigned to do this tonight, but I'm going to do it anyway. So blame Brian if I'm going through these slides too fast. We also announced some incentives. Okay, we have a cruise promotion and a snowmobile promotion. Okay, the cruise promotion is personally sponsor $240 of membership CV, 240 points of membership CV between February 1st and April 31st this year, 2017, and you win a cruise of your choice, 3, 4, or 5-day cruise, and that, it's awesome. It's a great promotion. The details are that this document, is actually available that we posted in the Leisure Life Nation Facebook group. You can get this exact slide deck yourself. So those of you that are on this, after tonight's call, post that into your team groups, post it into the Leisure Life Nation group. You can post into that and make sure that people are seeing that so they can have access to what the details are. The only fine print you need to be aware of is that because you get to pick what that cruise is and where you depart from, you just pay the port taxes and fees on that, the government port taxes and fees. That's it. Okay? All you got to do, again, 240 points of your personal sponsorship between that time period. So you've got to recruit them, and they have to have their membership go through within that time period. So you basically got the next 60 days to go out and perform and do that. It's an amazing amazing incentive that you got. The next is the snowmobile promotion. The snowmobile promotion is this fall. So at the end of the year, there's not an exact date, but the qualification period is between May 1st and August 31st. And what you'll need to do that is anybody is eligible to come. Okay, and in order to get the accommodations, you need 3,000 points in CV in 2 separate legs. That means 2 different legs, not just lines of sponsorship, but different legs, for a total of 6,000 in CV. And you'll get a 3-day, 2-night, 3-day snowmobile excursion, and we've narrowed it down in probably West Yellowstone. Okay, if you want airfare, transportation, and everything else, all inclusive into that, not just accommodations and food and all that scenario, then 6,000 in CV in 2 separate legs for a total of 12,000 points, 12,000 CV. very achievable, very attainable. Everybody that comes and qualifies gets our company dinner. We're going to have fun. It's going to be amazing. This same document is in that PowerPoint that you get with the promotion incentive. So we're going to have you guys post that here later on. So there you've got that. Ready, set, go. Second thing we did is we launched the Fast Start Guide. This Fast Start Guide is a 50-page book that goes through what you need to do and how you get sponsored, all of the step-by-step stuff of what you need to do. There's the Facebook page, our Instagram account, where you put your sponsorship information. Here's your checklist. The checklist is the several things that you need to do in the beginning of when you sign somebody up, what you need to do in order to keep them going and keep them moving in the right direction. So as you sponsor somebody, okay, this is what needs to be done, is go through this checklist. Okay. Now the next part of the check of the getting started guide, each of these have individual sections. Okay. If you do the thing, you shall have power by Ralph Waldo Emerson. What that means is do the checklist. Go through it. That's where power starts. That's where it all begins in creating what you want. And here's the 7 steps. You define your goals. You create your list. You contact and invite. You present. You follow up. You get started. And you promote. And you repeat. Yeah, it looks like it's repeat steps 3, 4, 5, No, but you repeat all 7 steps. Those are the 7 different skills that you learn that you get good at. What is the define your goals? It breaks it down for you. What do you want to make in a month? What do you want to make in a year? How many hours per week are you going to build your business? So you have a full-time job. You have other commitments. What else are you doing that's going to deviate some of your time? What are some of your goals that you want to accomplish? Break them all down and start to go to work. Okay. When you write things down, you dramatically improve your ability to accomplish those goals. Okay. You want to write them down, and here's where you write them down. Once you've wrote them down and accomplished them, put your check mark by it. But you want to have goals in every aspect of your life, not just your business or leisure life, not just what you're doing. Physical goals. It's a proven fact that if you exercise every day, you have more energy, you're more lively, you have a better attitude. So it's just healthier for you. Work on your relationships. My wife and I, when we got married, our goal was to have a perfect marriage. Now, we know nobody's perfect. There was only one individual, and he was born over 2,000 years ago, that lived a perfect life. But you got to work at it. Well, we knew that we'd have, struggles, we'd have arguments, but that's fine. We wanted to have a perfect marriage, so we have to work at it. The same thing with your business. You've got things that you want to do, so work at it. Okay? If you struggle at getting things accomplished, okay, let me give you a quick tip here. Okay? There's a thing called it's an app. It's called Strides. Strides. Okay? Strides. I'm not advocating for it, but that app helps you to set goals and be accountable to yourself in getting those goals done. So set them out, whatever it is that you're trying to work on, whether it's losing weight, whether it's building your relationships, whether it's working your business. If you're a procrastinator, give yourself somebody to hold you accountable and permission to hold you accountable, preferably that upline member that you're working with. Okay? Create your mission statement. What is your purpose? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? What is your definite goal? You want to write this down so you have a clearly designed game plan of what it is that you want to go after. This is your blueprint. A lot of people struggle with self-confidence. They don't believe that they're worthy of success. They don't believe that they're capable of success. They don't believe in them, but they believe in everybody else. Have a self-confidence in boosting that. Believe it or not, okay? Believe it or not, I was not the public speaker. I remember before I went on my church mission, when you went on a church mission, you got up in front of everybody at church and you told them where you're going and what you're going to be doing. and you kind of share a principle with them, right? Well, I was going on a mission for 2 years. I was going to go preach the good word for 2 years. I was leaving my family. I self-funded it like they all do. And I lacked confidence. I literally had my mom, who's an English teacher, write the talk, and I picked it up. I got in front of the pulpit, and I stood in front of the microphone, and I read it. I couldn't see the congregation, and they couldn't see me. And you look at me today, if you've ever met me, and you say, yeah, right, I don't believe that in a second. I don't believe that you were the shy, quiet, embarrassed, non-talkative person. I don't believe it in a second. Yeah, you wouldn't if you knew me. If you know me today, you wouldn't doubt it. I had a problem with self-confidence. Okay? All my background in sports, I didn't lack my ability on the sport in sports, basketball, soccer, whatever, but I lacked my ability in other things. Okay? I was the shy guy that had, I couldn't get a date. Anyway, create your personal plan. What is it that you want to do? Okay, all these things. Are you part-time? Are you full-time? Check it off. Here's your checklist. Isn't it crazy that I've gone through all this stuff, however long I've been talking, 10, 15 minutes, and I haven't talked about how to get a customer yet. I haven't talked about how to get a recruit yet, how to present yet. All that stuff doesn't matter if you don't have a goal and a game plan of what you're trying to shoot for. It's a byproduct of what this is really about. It's about what you want in life and who you can become in the process. And creating that personal plan is so much of the first part of getting started. Okay? So you want to write that down. When's your meetings? All these things are starting to create your goals. And Napoleon Hill said a goal is a dream with a deadline. Okay? Second, we did some compensation updates. Now, there's been, I don't know if there's any confusion with this. I hope not. But the update to U31, okay, is you need structure of the U31. So you personally sponsor 3 and help them personally sponsor 1. But now you need volume. It's no longer based upon are they executives, or are they basics, or are they premier. That has nothing to do with it. It's the total amount of volume. If you have a total amount of 80 CV between you, your 3, and their 1, okay, total amount of 80 CV, then you'll receive a $50 U31 bonus check residual every month. If you have a total of 350 CV, then your U31 bonus check, incentive check, will be $200. If it's 580, then it'll be $400. So it's all based on volume. Okay, so you're going to need to get your structure, get your volume, and stretch a little bit. Now here's an update. It's not. It didn't change, but there's been some people with a confusion that think that the matching check bonus is based off of your total commission check. That's not right. Your matching check bonus is based off of your unilevel check, not the incentives. Look at the comp plan, the incentives, U31, U33, Pro 2, Pro 4, Pro 6. Hey, those are incentives. They're in addition to, you either get paid the unilevel or you get paid the incentive bonus, whichever's more. So do the math. Which is more? Do you want to make a U31 $400 check, or do you want to make the unilevel and the check match feature of $9? So you do the math. $400, $9. $400, $9. You get my point. So that's the reason why our comp is so brilliant, because those incentives are huge. U31 or U33, same thing. It's now based off volume, not your exact placements of who is this person, a basic, or is that person a premier or an executive. It's all based on volume. You need your structure, U31, but you also need volume. And the structure volume needs to be within levels 1 and 2 and 3 for U33. So level structure volume 2 is levels 1 and 2. Structure volume 3, SV3, is levels 1, 2, and 3. You count all the volume, whether you sponsored it or it was placed there, just your total volume, You add all that up, and if it's 1,040, and you have a total group volume outside of those levels, total group volume of 2,500. So your 1,040 is a part of the 2,500. Now you're going to be making a $1,350 U3 incentive bonus check. The exciting thing about that is if you look at that, there's no more 90 days. There's no more, within your first 3 months. It's period. 2,500 in volume, and this is where some of the volume has to be, and you got it. The rest of the comp plan follows the same suit. This document, this one-page document, you guys, when this webinar is over, post it in the groups. Make sure that your team knows these updates. Okay, if there's been a lot of people that have been reactivating people that they might have lost in the past, and there's a lot of new people coming in. But this is some exciting stuff where now there's no more time frames. No more time frames. This takes place, okay? July 1st is when you will be paid on it, but that is relevant off of your June commission check. So all of this is going to take place in June. So when after June 30th or 31st, however many days, okay, or in June, when that last day of June's over, the new comp plan takes in effect and runs the commissions, and you'll be paid July 15th on that, okay? The second part of the getting started guide moves into creating your list. What you want to do, how you want to do it. Creating a list is an art. It's a skill. Okay, you want to add to it. If you talk to people and they say, "Well, I've talked with everybody that I know," they haven't learned the skill of creating a list yet. Okay, you should never run out of names to talk to, because you should never run out of building relationships with people. Okay, this is what's going to go over all of that. How to create a list, who to create a list, memory joggers on the list, where to write the list down, what categories you're going to categorize the list into, all of that stuff. Action, action, action is the fundamental key. Pablo Picasso. This is not some mythological thing that he said, hundreds of years ago. He lived in most of our lifetimes. Okay, creating a list, viable. We did some product conversation, product talk. Okay, I'm going really fast, you guys. I'm going really fast. Contacting and inviting. There's a 20-minute training called the contacting and inviting process. If I will you. Go through it. It's short, it's simple, it's the 10 steps. What you want to do, how you want to do it. It's a 20-minute conversation between me and Brad. How to invite somebody to watch the introductory 5-minute video. Don't send people to a third-party website. Send them to your website, your business website. Don't backdoor somebody into the business. Don't make them think that it's something else when it's this. It's a network marketing business. This is our product. This is what we offer. Don't backdoor them into something else. Okay? So how you do this properly is going to depend upon the results that you get. That's why it's a system. Okay? So go through that. Couple of keys on how to invite, all these things. If it makes it feel like I'm going through a lot of this stuff fast, it's because I am. Okay, there was over 90 slides, and I'm cramming all this stuff in. Okay, second thing is, okay, there we go. Or the next topic, step 4, is presenting the opportunity, presenting the business. How do you present? What do you use when you present the business? All of those tips. How do you do it? Those things are what we released. Why is my slide not clicking? I hope. There we go. Okay. So what we did is we released a few tools, and these tools Everybody can still hear me okay, right? I'm talking to myself. Isn't that funny? But everybody can still hear me. I'm still assuming everybody. Yep. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Awesome. So what you see here is the new one-page overview. How do you know, that's what we released. We already have the two-page digital flyer that has the membership benefits and the membership pricing on the back. How do you get U3-1? How do you get U3? Okay, all of these things. These tools are individual PDFs. You're going to want to get those tools, use these tools effectively. Okay, there's a PowerPoint presentation with that, all that stuff. It's all good. Man, why is this ain't working? Next slide. That's what I want it to be anyway. We did a couple of fun activities. You guys probably can't see that. But we did a couple of fun activities on personality training. When you want to talk to some people and you're talking to the business, ask them, are you outgoing or are you reserved? Okay, you just the things that you ask everybody. Are you more outgoing or are you more reserved? Okay, we did a fun activity with the room. You should have been there if you weren't. Second thing, are you task oriented or are you people oriented? Okay, the questions that you ask everybody. Okay, where are you from? What do you like to do? What do you done professionally? Do you have any kids? Are you married? Are you task oriented? Or are you people oriented? Okay, what would you do for fun if money wasn't an object? Where would you go on your next anniversary? Are you people oriented? Hey, are you an outgoing person or are you more a reserved person? Okay, that gives you your personality style. Why is that important? Because everybody has a different personality and everybody has a different secondary personality. What's your next dominant personality? So we did a good training on that and some tips on how to communicate to different types of personality traits and what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. So I'm blowing through all of this stuff. Come to these events if you want to learn how this goes and have some good fun time. There's a big focus on why you need to be there because if I did a poll, right, I could say out of the however many hundreds of people that were there, what was your favorite part? If any of them said, "Oh, the personality part," I had probably a dozen people just in that weekend tell me that what you said just saved my marriage. Man, what you said just saved my relationship with my kids. Isn't that crazy? I've never met them, but yet I saved their marriage. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. But it's not. Why? Because it's how to communicate with people. And if we're having this struggle of communicating with people, that was probably a 45-minute training that I just blew through in 30 seconds. And if you weren't there, how can I create that entire environment and put it into a bottle and tell you about it? I can't. And neither can anybody else. So there's a reason on why you come to events. Earlier today, I had a conversation with a couple of individuals, and they said, I'm not coming to an event until I'm already this big in the business. My response is, you'll never get that big in the business unless you come to an event. They're one and the same. So in order to build a big business, you've got to come to events. In order to, come to events, it builds your business simultaneously. We did some recognition. We recognized our U3-1s. We recognized our U3-3s. We talked about follow-up. Why is follow-up so critical? This is why follow-up is so critical, okay? Because 80% of the people that join 5% of the affiliates who follow up. Think about it. I'm going to say that again. Of the 100% of people that join a business, okay, 80% of the people that join the person who followed up 5 to 12 times with them. That's only 5%. Which means if we had a room of 100 people, 5 of the 100 would actually follow up enough times to get the signups to join. And those 5, if we had another room of 100 people and all 100 of those people joined, 80 of those people would join that small group of 5 people. The other 20 would be divided up into the rest of the room of the 80 people. Do you see the math? I hope I didn't just confuse you. It's kindergarten math to me, but maybe it's second grade or fifth grade math. I know I did graduate from a small town in Cedar City, Utah, but the idea is following up is vital. You could be missing out on people that you could potentially have signed up, but you didn't follow up. Okay? Follow up is this. It's introducing them to as many people as needed, as many times as needed, and in front of as much content as needed until they join. It's not you talk to them for 2 days and they either join or they don't. It's not a close. It's not a sell. Okay? Here's a tracking sheet for some of the things that you want to do if you're a non-digital person. But leaders, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Think about that. That's what follow-up helps you to do. Okay? Is get others positioned. We talk about getting started. Getting started is what this whole document and this whole weekend in Dallas was all about. What is the checklist? What do you want to do? What's this next thing? Get onto the calls, get onto the webinars, join the Facebook group, plug into the system library, plug into the archives, attend your local meetings. All that stuff is part of getting people started and moving. There's a difference between signing up and then getting started. Okay? The last point is the promote. Okay, what is promote? Okay, what's promotion? What do we promote? You promote everything. You promote the tools. Okay, you promote the incentive trips. You promote the events. You promote every type of event. The next call, the next local meeting, the next three-way phone call, the next national event. You promote house meetings. You promote all that stuff. You promote your team to the next rank. Who in your team is not a U31? Have you personally called them and said, I want to help you to get U31, and this is what we need to do it? This is what we're doing. So copy what we've just covered today, and that's how we go and get them U31. We got to create the goal. We got to make the list. We got to contact them, set up the appointment. We got to present. We got to follow up and get them started. And we rotate that over and over. When they get in, we promote stuff to them. What do we promote? All these things. Why do we want to promote? Because the importance of promoting and the importance of events is it raises their belief level. It raises their ability to act, their motivation. It raises their excitement. It builds the stronger relationship. I have more of a stronger relationship with the people that were in Dallas than the people that were not in Dallas and only get onto the conference calls and webinars. That's just the way it is. I will have a stronger relationship with the people that come to the meeting in Missouri when I go down into Missouri in March than the people who don't come. I'll have a stronger relationship with the people that come to the Kansas City training event in April on April 29th and the people that buy that ticket. I'll have a stronger relationship with those people than the people who don't come. And think about it. If you have a stronger relationship with your leaders, isn't it easier to promote them and to build with them and to build an organization and have a lot of success? The answer is absolutely yes. It's not uncommon for people to leave events wishing they had more strongly promoted the event to their team so that their team could have experienced all that they experienced. Think about that for a minute, you guys. Here's some do's and don'ts on promoting. Don't assume your team knows. I'm gonna try not to single out anybody, but I was talking with a handful of people yesterday and today, and a handful, about probably 3 or 4 of those people who have an amazing upline, okay, they were not members of the Leisure Life Nation Facebook group. They were not members, but they had a very active upline, a very supportive upline. They'd bend over backwards for them, but they were not a part of the Leisure Life Nation Facebook group. So some people get sifted through the cracks, I know. But the difference is this person was actively building their business. They weren't some loser who just signed up and said that they want it and never came to any meetings and then quit 3 days later because they hadn't made $1 million yet. They were actively building. So don't assume that people know that they should just, join that group. Don't assume that they know why they need to be at events, why they need to get onto these calls. Don't assume that they just are going to get it. Okay? Don't under promote. Okay? So you're doing your people a favor by helping them get these things. How do you promote? You build value. You tell your story. Okay? You tell your story. Here's my story. Okay? Why are events so vital to my success? Because I signed up at an event. I watched a video, an 8-minute video. After I got done watching the video, I got onto a 3-way phone call with the 26-year-old upline. And the guy committed me to come to an event. Do you like what you see on that video? Yeah. Will you come meet us at our office? We're doing an overview, at our office Saturday morning. That's when the event was. I went to that event. All I'd seen is that video and 3-way phone call. I went to that event. I saw the bigger picture. I saw people getting recognized. I saw people making money. I saw people that had been in a month, 2 months, 3 months, making hundreds and thousands of dollars. I got excited. I saw the opportunity at a bigger scale at that event than I would have if all I did is talk to my friend and joined. I got excited at that event. I came home. I started building. 3 weeks later, I went to a national training event. I saw 15,000 people in a room. I came home even more on fire. I had training, what you've just gone through tonight. I had all of that stuff given me within my first 3 weeks. I was armed. I was ready. My belief was through the roof, and I crushed it. So when people ask me, how did you build a 6-figure income when you were a 21-year-old punk kid living in your mom and dad's basement? How did you do it? How did I not do it? I had a story and what did I tell people? Man, I'm working with a 26-year-old millionaire. Yeah, I personally met him. I'll personally get him on the phone with you. I shake hands with this guy. I talk to this guy all the time. That was a part of my story. My excitement was genuine. It wasn't fake. It was genuine. I went to an event and I could build my story into that. Dude, I've been doing this for 3 months. I went to this event. I met the leaders. I met the owners. I met the top people. I saw winners. I saw losers. I saw tall people, short people, skinny people, fat people, brown people, pink people, bright people. I saw them all. They're all having success. They're all winning. This thing's growing. It was my story. It was part of my story. So your story is so valuable. What is your story? If you haven't come to a national event yet, you are not in a leisure life. That's strong words. That's strong. I'm going to say it again because I love you. And sometimes on these webinars and calls, people don't get the who I really am. I can be strong if you don't really know me. Okay? But it doesn't come across the same. But I promise you guys, if you have not been to a national training event, you are not in the business yet. You might have signed up. You might have been an affiliate, but you are not in the business yet. So go get your ticket to the National Leadership Workshop in Kansas City, Missouri, April 29th. That is how you promote. You utilize your story. You build excitement. Your story is different from my story. So how can you promote an event if you've never been to the event? The best thing you can do is get your ticket and say, I'm going. Are you coming with me? This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Are you coming with me? I got my ticket. Buy my ticket. Here's mine. I'll go get another one. Then we talked about some things about social media. There are some major do's and don'ts, you guys. Major do's and don'ts on social media. You need to go through this. Why is social media so important? Because it is an amazing tool. An amazing tool. But it can be your worst nightmare if it's not done effectively. Okay? Think about social media as this. You have a brand new Ford truck, Chevy truck, Dodge truck, Nissan truck, Toyota truck, Honda truck. Well, yeah, I know. I follow your social media feeds, you guys, and your truck arguments and conversations. Yeah, I know the jokes. You guys act like you're still in third grade, but anyway, what? Imagine that you've got that pickup, right? And you just spent 50, 60, 80,000 dollars on that pickup, brand new, and all the latest, greatest everything. Okay, your favorite brand. Are you going to stick your 6-year-old daughter behind the wheel and give her the keys? Here, turn it on. Here's how you get into gear. Matter of fact, I'm going to get out of the truck and let you just drive around. Are you going to do something that foolish? See, it sounds stupid. It sounds idiotic. No, I wouldn't do that. They're going to ruin my truck. Even worse, they're probably going to crash it, and potentially they could die. They could kill themselves. What about give your teenager, your 13, 14-year-old kid, boy or girl, you're going to give them the keys and say, hey, invite all your buddies over, your friends, go out tonight. They don't have their license. They don't know how to drive. Just give them the keys to that new pickup and just tell them to go have fun. You're going to trust them with that? How stupid does that sound? It's against the law, number one. Number two, they could come back dead. Think about your brand new rep, your brand new affiliate that you just signed up. They're fired up, they're excited, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to take those keys to that brand new pickup truck, and they're going to go drive without a single lesson, without any coaching, without a driver's instructor safety emergency brake in the passenger seat, and you just sent them off without a system. You just sent them off to commit suicide. Business suicide. What do I mean by business suicide? Exactly that. A matter of a few short posts and their entire contact list, if done wrong, is now blown. It's blown. And they won't have anywhere near the amount of success potential that they could. I'm trying to figure out on why this keeps not moving to the next slide. There you go. Okay, there's a couple of things that I like to cover. Here's a formula. If you're a major social media buff, follow this formula. Okay, first of all, prime time. Right? Think about prime time television. When is prime time television? During the day at 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning when everybody's at work? No. There's a reason you haven't watched Price is Right in 15 years. There's a reason that you didn't know Bob Barker still isn't the host of Price is Right. You get my point? Like, daytime television is way different from prime time television. What is prime time? Do they put the brand new TV shows? Do they put the major events? Broadcast? Do they broadcast those major things? When people are at work? No, they don't. There's a reason when you go to a baseball game that there's hardly anybody there because they play in the middle of the day. But when they play at night at prime time, tons of people are there. Best times for building this business is between 6 to 10 p.m. at night when people are off work and they're focused. That's the best time to contact, best time to set up meetings, three-way phone calls. It's the best time to put your effort into work. It's also the best time for social media. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? First thing you do is you check your phone. If those people are social media people, when are you posting? You need to be posting between 7 and 9 a.m. and 8 to 10 p.m. when people are winding down. Why? Because the more likely people will see your post. Second thing is follow a formula of 10 4 1. What's 10 4 1? 10 posts about you that reflect you, your person, your brand, non-business related. You, your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, your fun things, your kids, your dog, your horse, your cat, whatever. I don't want to leave anybody out. Your mouse, your snake, you. 4 posts are about recognition, the success stories. Hey man, I'm helping this person, build a U31. Hey, we just accomplished it. I will recognize this person. Success stories, recognition. 1 post is a directly related post about your business. That's it. Follow that formula. It'll build you success. Okay. P.T. Barnum and Bailey circus performers. Without promotion, something terrible happens. Nothing. Why is promote the last slide? Okay. Because everything that you do is about promoting. If you can get good at one skill, and every networker will tell you a different thing. I've heard people say, what's the number one skill if I could get good at? And the number one skill that I need to learn? Never stop talking to people, which means don't stop recruiting. Well, what if don't stop recruiting is the key for success and you're playing the law of numbers? What is that skill ultimately? That means you never stop talking to people. And if you never stop talking to people, how do you become the best recruiter out there? If you never stop talking to people and you're always recruiting, what does that mean? That means you know when the next event is. So I'm going to tell you, of the 7 skills that's the most important, the one that you should focus on is the one that you struggle with the most. I got you there. Haha. But, in all sincerity, promote is the number one skill. Why? Because you could be horrible at presenting the business. But if you can get people to an event, to a call, to a webinar, to a recording, to a 3-way, if you can promote those, you have a way better chance of success. If you can get people to an event, you might be a horrible recruiter. You might not be able to recruit, but if you never stop promoting, you can get bodies in the seats. And that is how you win. That's why our next event is April 29th in Kansas City, Missouri. And you can get tickets for that. Post those tickets, you guys. You can find them on leisurelife.com. You get those tickets. You can post the event, the event page in your social media groups. Okay, if you don't know, if you want to get a ticket and you don't know who your upline is or how to get it, text me, call me, message me. Let's get your tickets for those events and let's rock and roll. Okay, with all of that, that is the slide deck that we covered in Kansas City. Okay, that's what we went over, and that is everything that we did at that event. So if you weren't there, you saw what we covered, you saw what we went over. Now the biggest thing, okay, with that is you see all these announcements. That's the system. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going over. That's what we're covering. So you guys, I want to encourage you, start getting people onto the Monday night webinars. Okay, start getting people onto the next week's webinar. We will start sending out those links to get registered. Reach out to your teams. Reach out to your people. Let's get them involved into what we're doing, because this is going to explode. There's a certain amount of curiosity that you can give people, right? A certain amount of leaking out that you can give people, but I'm not going to leak it out this time, because there will be some amazing things. But the last 2 days of my conversations of stuff that Brian and Dave and myself and Kim and the office that we're working on are going to blow your socks off. You're going to be so impressed, so proud to be a part of this. Is the best time to be a part of this opportunity is tonight. The best time to be a part of it is what you're seeing right now. So you guys take that for all that it's worth. Promote the stuff out of this. Use the system. You want personal, more advanced leadership stuff. We're getting that. We're going to start. The vision that I have for this system, okay, you're going to be able to run everything that you need from your mobile device, from a login, from an iPad, your computer. You're going to be able to run and do everything. This is just the beginning. We're going to arm you with an arsenal of tools. We're going to arm you with an arsenal of training. We're going to provide you with some of the best stuff that industry legends have personally taught me how to do it. I'm not talking about, I read this in a book or I learned this from somebody. I'm talking day in, day out. I've personally been mentored by some of the best minds in this industry, people that have personally built organizations to billions of dollars in revenue in their downline, not, by selling events or selling tools. I'm talking real life stuff. Real life stuff. I spent 3 years in my previous business with my personal mentor. I spent 3 years personally working with him, building the organization that I built day in and day out. He was the number one or the top earners of all 4 companies that he was in. And he was in the industry for 38 years before he died in a kayak accident up in Lake Tahoe. So this is not some hocus pocus fly-by-night stuff. I promise you, you will see a massive change in your business, you guys. Plug into this system. Every one of you that are on this webinar and this call tonight, I appreciate you for being on here. I love and respect you for being on here. But now's the time to go to work. Let's buckle down and let's do it. So thank you so much, you guys. This webinar is officially over. Have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll see you on our Monday night webinar for the opportunity, and we'll see you here next Wednesday for our training. And that topic is not just going to be this overview, so we're going to start diving into each one of these skills and bringing out each one of these topics and bringing them full surface. So thanks so much. Have a wonderful night, everybody. This webinar is over.